You focus on, you get more of. And I just encourage each and every one of you to just focus on God and His grace and His mercy. Like, I know circumstances don't always look as promising, but I think it's just more so just trusting the God you serve. Lost in the dark, searching for something more. Then suddenly the world collides with the presence of God. Eyes lifted in awe, confronted by holiness, truth, and love. When God reaches down, it's not rejection, it's invitation. Held in His hands, the world finds peace, purpose, and love. This is World Meets God podcast with Jar Campbell. Raw, real, no sugarcoating, just truth and love. Stay blessed. Hey y'all, welcome back to our Miss God podcast with your host, Jar Campbell. Yes, the background is different today, this episode, because y'all know the beeping in the last episode. I could not find the source of the beeping to stop the beeping. So the beeping is less profound here. So, anyways, this episode I just kind of want to talk about God's grace and how good it is. And it's gonna be based off of like a Bible study that I was doing. I had texted my pastor back home because I was just, just doing my little Bible study, and I was just wondering, I was thinking, and I was like, if God is all knowing, how come when the woman with the issue of blood touched him, he asked, "Who touched me?" And I was like, is it because it was Jesus and not God? I know they are the Holy Trinity, but they are also still separate, even though they are all connected and they are one. And I was like, if you could provide some enlightenment, that would be greatly appreciated. And so his response was, often when Christ was speaking of praying in the presence of others, it wasn't for his sake. The question or statement was made. Then he put John 11:42. But others could be more informed of the proceedings, which was John 11:40 and then John 18:4. And of course, it's like him to respond that way to make it a whole another Bible study for me. Honestly, I was happy about it. I was like, okay, we're going on a little Bible study. And so when I looked those scriptures up, you have John, which one was first? It was John 11:42. Okay, and it says, this is the NIV version. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. And then John 11:40 says, where is it? Then Jesus said, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? And then John 18:4 says, Jesus knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, who is it you want? And so with me reading those scriptures and again going back to what I asked, it really gave me more revelation as to like how good God is and how patient and kind God is towards us, and the grace that he gives us that we often overlook. Like, he simply provides opportunity for us to see how amazing he is, because he is all knowing. Even when he asks questions, he knows the answer. And he knows the answer, but he asks so that now we can know the answer. Like with the woman with the issue of blood, he knew who touched him because he knows all. but no one in the crowd knew who touched him. So he asked, so that way they could see what happened. You see what I'm trying to say? Basically, moral of the story is a lot of times the stuff that we don't understand or the things that we go through is really just so we can see the goodness and the grace and glory of God. Like, it's all going to work out for us. It's just so God can get the glory of it. Like, so we can see God in the middle of our circumstances. So we can see his grace and experience his grace and experience his wisdom and his mercy and just experience him being the amazing, powerful, mighty, wonderful God that he is. And I think it's so beautiful that he set it up that way. Like, his grace really truly is sufficient and it's unmerited grace. Like, there's really nothing we can do to deserve his grace or his love. And it's really truly all around us. And I think we as people, I'm going to speak for myself. I know I can sometimes overlook it because it starts to be, I don't want to say mundane, but I guess it's like, I guess I start to expect his grace. Because truly, even waking up is a gift of God's grace. Like, he didn't have to wake me up this morning. He didn't have to allow me to drive on the road without getting hit by a vehicle. You know, like, there's so many things that God didn't have to do for me, but he chose to do it. And I think that's just a blessing in its own. I think that sometimes I can take it for granted, you know, like having food on my table, clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. Like, that's all a part of God's grace, his love and his mercy. Like, those are underrated blessings. I think that's the word I was looking for. And so it's really caused me to just pause a little bit more, a little longer, and just kind of reflect on God's grace in my life and just really have a heart of gratitude and thanks and praise. Like, it makes me think about, like, you know, it's a hymn, but it's like, I don't know about tomorrow, but I know who holds my hand. And it is, you know, stuff like that. Like, just being grateful for the little things. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have much else to say. Except for what you focus on, you get more of. And I just encourage each and every one of you to just focus on God and his grace and his mercy. Like, I know circumstances don't always look as promising, but I think it's just more so just trusting the God you serve. Because I know a lot of times, sometimes I'll pray and I'll be looking to God for answers. Like, oh, okay, I'm ready for an answer. I need an answer. I need an answer. But I'm learning that I don't always need an answer. I just need to trust him, even without an answer. You know, like, I don't need an answer to be okay. I don't need an answer to trust him. I don't need an answer to believe that it's all going to work out for me. I just need to trust him and have faith. And yeah, that's just something that I'm learning. I hope this made sense in some way, shape, or form. And if not, I sincerely apologize. But yeah. Anyways, like it, love it, share it. And until next time, y'all stay blessed. Love you. Bye.